was out running errands. Should I get my dad? Maybe I just imagined that noise. I could think of one way to find out. Hello? Is someone out there? I squeaked. The shrubs parted, and a creature about the same size as me walked out. He was furry, orange, and had giant ears with 2 horns on top of his head. He squinted at me and Sassafras with his 2 big eyes. He looked like a monster? I stood there, frozen, with my mouth hanging open. The monster brushed his fur off and cleared his throat again. He seemed like he was about to say something. Could monsters talk? Sassafras broke the silence by launching out of my arms. Before I could stop him, he flew out the cat door and raced toward the monster outside. I began to follow, but stopped. That was an awfully tall monster. But then again, I didn't want Sassafras to get hurt. What should I do? I took a deep breath. Mom never said there were dangerous magical creatures in our forest, so maybe the monster was really big and really friendly? I crossed my fingers that this would be true as I ran outside. The monster stood with his arms in the air, looking terrified. Sassafras galloped toward him. Once he was close enough, my cat leaped into the air and aimed straight at the monster's chest. The monster screamed, "What is that? Help me!" He stumbled backward. Was my cat trying to leap into the monster's arms? The monster wouldn't keep still, so Sassafras gave up and started purring furiously at the trembling monster's feet. He bumped his head against the monster's legs and kept purring. The monster put his hands up to his cheeks in horror and shrieked again. "It's trying to eat me. I can hear its tummy growling from here. Oh, help me." I scooped Sassafras into my arms. "I'm so sorry. My cat isn't trying to hurt you. I think he just really likes you." Sassafras strained in my arms, wanting to love on the monster more. I squeezed him to my chest a little tighter. "Likes me enough to eat me?" the monster huffed. I giggled. Sassafras eats cat food, not monsters, I promise. The monster calmed down a bit. He took a closer look at me and wrinkled his face. "I thought you were a bigger human, from the stories I've heard in the forest." I stood up a bit straighter. The stories were probably about my mom, but I'm big enough to help you. The monster raised an eyebrow. "Are you sure? You seem rather small." I moved Sassafras over to my hip. I know all about the magic doorbell and the barn. I even helped a baby dragon all by myself. "Really?" The monster seemed a little more convinced. "I love dragons." "Me too," I said with a sigh, remembering little Marshmallow. I figured out what was wrong with a baby dragon who didn't even speak, so I'm sure I can help you. I added confidently. I mean, really, how hard could this be with someone who could answer questions? The monster looked me over once more. Then he nodded. "As I'm sure you know, it's almost time for the annual Monster Ball." The Monster Ball? An annual monster dance? The thought of a bunch of monsters dancing together almost made me laugh out loud. I didn't want to seem rude, though. I also didn't want to look like I'd never heard of the Monster Ball, so I nodded and smiled. "Well, anyway, it's coming up in a few days," he continued. "For as long as I can remember, I've, had a bit of an embarrassing problem. And because of it, I've never gone to the big dance. But I'd really like to go this year. I was hoping you could help me get rid of it." At this, he turned around. I gasped. The monster's fur was covered in mold. Chapter 3. Moldy Fur.